Hi, mystery writers. I'm Zara Altair, and this is Write a Killer Mystery, where we talk about making a good mystery great. And today I want to talk about how to introduce your detective to devoted mystery writers. If you're a new writer, you want to get those fans on board with your mystery. And so the best way to make that connection is by giving your reader a connection with your detective. So don't wait. Let's get them connected right at the beginning. You want to begin at the beginning. When your readers begin your story, they want to know certain elements and very soon. In a mystery, your reader wants to meet the detective. That's it. Your reader's going to know right away if your sleuth is somebody they want to follow through the entire puzzle of your mystery until the end. So Scott Myers, a screenwriting specialist, says go into the story. And he feels it's so important. His blog, everything about him is named Go Into the Story. And his blog was named Best of the Best at the scriptwriting website for Writer's Digest. And it's titled with those words. That's what you need to do with your detective. Go into the story. New authors often struggle with introducing the required story elements without getting to the story. I see this a lot with new writers that they know, oh, I have to show the everyday day and the everyday world and and it's easy to present the hero, your sleuth, the hero's ordinary world as, well, ordinary. And you don't want to do that. This is not waking up in the morning, looking in the mirror with a physical description. You really don't do that. Don't do that ever. But, or going on a morning jog. Just skip all that stuff, all right? Readers want to see your detective in action. Okay, the mystery hasn't started yet, but you can still show your detective in action. So, in the first chapter of your mystery, your reader needs to know two key pieces of information about your detective: their name and at least one of their special skills. And they're going to use that skill later to solve the mystery. But now you're just piquing their interest by saying, my detective, she's a really skilled thinker. She notices things. Whatever it is that the skill is that your detective has, you want to highlight it in action at the beginning of your story. Because the name gives your reader instant access to your detective. It's like an introduction. Okay, now they know their name. So they know who your sleuth is, and you cement that character's name in your reader's head. And the skill demonstrates a strength your detective will use later on to bring your mystery to the final revelation of the villain. It doesn't have to be big at the beginning or the main point of the opening scene. You want to show your reader how your detective operates, and you've done your character background, so you know what your character's special skills are. So highlight at least one of them in that first chapter. Setting, narrative, and backstory do not create an emotional hook. So don't use them at the beginning. Get to the detective. So how do you start? Making a decision about how to start your mystery influences everything that comes later in your story. So knowing your need to introduce your detective soon, you still need to make a story so you can set your story in motion. So in other words, a physical description of your detective isn't getting to know your detective. You want to start with story, stay with story, end with story, all right? So the folks at Thought Learning stress the importance of an enticing beginning. Here's what they say: the beginning of your story sets the tone for everything that will happen next. An opener is like an appetizer, offering a tasty morsel of what's to come. And that's what you want your detective. That's why you want your detective right at the beginning. The way you start your story, mood, tone, setting, influences how you introduce your detective. So let's look at 3 good ways to get into the story immediately and show your detective in action. First is action. Start in the middle of things. Show your detective in action, perhaps winding up another case. And the focus is on your detective doing something that illustrates either a skill or a weakness. Think of the opening of Raiders of the Lost Ark. This isn't the main story yet. And that's exactly what you can do in your story. It just introduces us to the main character and a special skill, that bullwhip. So think about that. Think about what is one of your character's special skills and focus on highlighting that right at the beginning. Okay, so that's action. Second way to get started in your story is, once again, in the middle of things in media res. Bring your reader into an ongoing conversation. It can be face-to-face or on the telephone or, in our current era, a video chat. But give your detective something to say that illustrates a skill. So we have action, we have dialogue, and then something that works really well with first-person point of view, if your detective is also the narrator of your mystery, is a question. The question device is a strong way to open a story with a first-person point of view. Your sleuth can question why they are where they are, or why another character is acting in a certain way. But just because your sleuth is asking a question, you're getting that immediate connection with your reader. You're building their, so why is he asking this question? And I was just reading in Randy Ingebrigtsen's, who's the creator of the story Snowflake. I can't talk today. Okay, he's the creator of the Snowflake method, and he has a monthly email. And this month he suggests starting with a day that is different. So you know what your main character's ordinary day is, and it's going to be an ordinary day, but keep in mind that it's the day that's different. It's the day when things change, and it is a good place to begin. And you can start with that, with any of the above suggestions, with action, with dialogue, or with a question. Mainly, your detective carries the story, and you want that primary concept for introducing your character to show them in action and reveal how they act and respond to the world they are in right now at the beginning. Remember, this is the setup for the rest of your mystery. So meeting your detective is the primary goal. You have the rest of your story to expand on setting and introduce other characters and plunge your detective into the mystery puzzle of this story. But for now, at the beginning, you want to build empathy between your reader and your detective. That's your main goal at the beginning, is to bring your reader on board with your detective. So, once again, if you need help navigating your mystery novel, Write a Killer Mystery course walks you through creating a mystery readers love. And this is just one of the things that will help readers engage with your story, getting them to know your detective right at the beginning. Don't put it off. Right now, at the beginning, get them to meet your detective. And then one other announcement that I have today is ConvertKit, the email supplier, has a brand new announcement. They have a free program, and it is perfect, perfect, perfect for beginning authors. It is like you can start gathering your fans even before you finish your story. Whether you have a website or not, it doesn't matter. You can start gathering your fans and communicating them with their brand new free plan. It's a great way to begin. You can click the link in the description below and find out more about their brand new free plan. So once again, I want to thank my Patreon supporters because they help keep this series going. So for now, click the subscribe button if you haven't already, and be sure to click that little notification bell so you'll get notified when the next episode of Write a Killer Mystery is out. I do these weekly, and you'll learn more and more about mystery writing. Thanks so much for being here. In the meantime, write a killer mystery.